Let's talk about 90s cinema and why I don't hate it. I kind of come off as a cinema hater of the era because the movies that we are currently having nostalgia for on social media are not good movies. This is the best example. People are loving On Event Horizon. It's not a good movie. I think my dislike for this movie is pretty well documented on this channel. It's okay to be nostalgic for bad movies. I'm nostalgic for them too, but I just want to be realistic about what is actually good versus nostalgic, and this is not it. Scream is actually a good movie. It's a great movie, but we have brought it up to iconic status and totally washed away the negative impact that the movie had on the horror genre as a whole. I like Scream, but I think there are better choices from the era. Okay, so to prove my love for the era, I'm going to do a new series if you guys want to see it. I'm going to talk about 10 films from each year of the 90s that I think are great, that are iconic, and we should be nostalgic for and talking about now. We're going to start with 1990. If you guys enjoy it, we'll keep it going. Let me know what you think in the comments. While I'm doing these in no particular order, I could wager that Goodfellas is my favorite film of 1990. It is absolutely my favorite gangster movie of all time, maybe followed by Untouchables and then The Godfather after that. This is an all-star cast, Martin Scorsese film, killer soundtrack, amazing cinematography, amazing. Just watch it, even if you don't like gangster films. You got Paul Verhoeven directing Arnold Schwarzenegger in a science fiction film based on work from Philip K. Dick. You've got all the great action that you expect from a Schwarzenegger film with all the campy humor, but then you've also got some thoughtful social commentary and deep thoughts, kind of cerebral science fiction happening here. It's a good blend with Paul Verhoeven's very unique style layered on top. This is a classic. It's aging so well. Misery is hands down one of the best, if not the best, Stephen King adaptation brought to film, and it also introduced us to Kathy Bates. This is a must-watch if you haven't seen it. If you have, you probably love it just like I do. It's a single-location film. It's tense. It's scary. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Flatliners represents sort of the Brat Pack of the 80s, all grown up in a Joel Schumacher film when Joel Schumacher was at his peak. You have Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, Oliver Platt, William Baldwin, all in this scary-ass film about life and death. We are in kind of a resurgence of nostalgia for Home Alone, but that's okay. For a kid's holiday movie, this is one of the best ever made, and it continues to age so well. Back to the Future is a goated trilogy, and I won't hear any discussion about that. The third film might be the worst in the trilogy. It's still better than most things you could choose to watch. Of Kevin Costner's era of epics, this is the best. Dance with Wolves. I can't speak all of a sudden. I'm trying to go too fast. But this movie is beautiful. It's beautifully acted. Mary McDonnell's wonderful in here, even if you kind of question the character that she's playing because they should probably pick somebody else. Still a great movie. Gremlins 2 is so fun because it's both funnier and meaner than the first film. The talk show sequences in here are my favorite. Gotta watch. Sure, you could argue that Die Hard 2 is basically just rinse and repeat of the first one, minus the incredible villain, and you would be correct. But in 1990, looking at action films, this is still one of the best. Bruce Willis is still so charismatic and fun to watch. It's a fun film. Watching the trilogy all together, this one holds up pretty well. John McTiernan directs this action thriller based on a Tom Clancy novel, starring Sean Connery at his, old guy peak, and Alec Baldwin playing off him very well. It's tense. It's thrilling. It's, dumbed down and simplified for the rest of us who don't care about pages and pages of submarine schematics. Really love this one. I don't think we talk about it enough. Before you come at me, there were a lot of other great films from 1990. These are just the 10 that I really like. Edward Scissorhands is also could have been on this list, and many others. But I'm just saying, there were good movies in the 90s other than Event Horizon. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of these films, and let's talk about good cinema from the 90s.